Push. Recording. Is your loudest? Yes. Isn't it? So, okay. Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to the Zoom program. Thank you for coming. We are very fortunate to have Tulsi Priya. Tulsi Priya. Can you see Tulsi Priya?
Hare Krishna.
Can everybody see Tulsi Priya? This is Tulsi Priya from South Africa, and that's her husband, Gopal Rajguru. They are very senior devotees and are very dear to Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj has been to their house on many occasions, and I won't take up more of your time, but Tulsi Priya is going to tell you how she met Guru Maharaj. It's very interesting and very sweet. Okay, this is Tulsi Priya.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. My first meeting with Guru Maharaj was at the Festival of Chariots in South Africa, the Rath Yatra. I was actually helping in the oil, they were selling of the oil paintings in one of the marquees, and that was my service. I was there alone at that moment when Guru Maharaj arrived, and he asked me, what's your name? And I told him my name is Tulsi. And he said, you have a very nice name. And then he asked me, do you know what's the meaning of your name? And I said, yes, I know it's a plant. That's all that I knew. So that evening, he had sent a letter to me explaining the meaning of Tulsi. It was very nicely explained. And the next day, I met Maharaj again, and I asked him if he'd like to meet my husband, Gopalraj, and he said, yes, of course, I'd love to meet him. And we went, he met him, and then I said, Maharaj, would you like to come visit me at my home in Port Shepstone? And he said, how far is it? And then I told him, it's from Durban, it's about an hour and a half drive. He said, sure, I'd visit you. And Guru Maharaj decided to come and visit. So his first visit to my home in Port Shepstone, he brought me Tulsi Devi with him. It was so nice. It really touched my heart so much. And he came and he spent the day. Lots of devotees came with him. Madanam Chintamani was there, and lots of senior devotees were there. And we had a really nice time. Guru Maharaj spent a lot of time, and then he kept coming and visiting quite often. We had many very nice programs. We celebrated New Year's once with midnight arati and fireworks. The ones we had Christmas, and we had midnight arati again for Christmas. And Guru Maharaj kept coming to Port Shepstone. We had many programs with lots of devotees. When I was ill, the one time Guru Maharaj came home, and they were just coming to visit me and leave, but he spent a few hours, and it was late in the evening, and he said, I think we should leave. And I said, no, Guru Maharaj, it's quite late now, I think you should stay. So he said, give me 5 minutes. He went to his room. He came back and he said, okay, we will stay. About 20 devotees were there, and nobody had any clothes or anything. Everybody decided to stay. So we had made beds between the beds, in the passage, in the lounge, in the garage. Oh my God. Beds were all over. And in the morning, the devotees got up, they went to the kitchen. I was on home traction, so I couldn't do anything. They made breakfast and they set up in the lounge. Everyone was sitting around, and then Guru Maharaj sat. So I said, I'm also coming to join them for breakfast. So they put a chair and I sat. We all took breakfast, and then we all were talking. And then Guru Maharaj said, I think it's time we went back to bed. So eventually I went back to bed, and then Guru Maharaj spent more time. The devotees were chanting, they came to my room, they were massaging me, and Guru Maharaj was singing prayers. It was so good. I'm so useless and so fallen, and so, but Guru Maharaj had given so much of mercy. He was really so encouraging, and he is really a fatherly figure. He was there, and I really and truly appreciate everything that he's done, and I cherish all those precious moments that I had with Guru Maharaj. I also tried to go to Santa Barbara and do some service at Guru Maharaj's ashram. I went a few times with Mother Sukumari and Swarab Damodar. And also my children now that my children are in America, I go and spend time with them. So they give me like 2 weeks or so to go and spend time with Guru Maharaj. If he's either in Dallas or Houston or Santa Barbara, I get the opportunity of going and rendering some service. So, Gopal Raj Prabhu announces.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think most of it has been told already, but I will just maybe say something a little louder. Okay. So one time, at the same time when he used to come and visit us at home, one time he came and we had so many devotees. Brahmacharis, Brihad Maharaj was then not a Maharaj then. He was the many senior devotees were there. And we waiting for Guru Maharaj to come. And the devotees told me, you have to put a garland on him because I'm still in this pain. And it so happened that when the car came in, Guru Maharaj came, and then I was standing with the garland in my hand, and all the devotees, senior devotees were behind me, and I'm holding it. And Guru Maharaj wouldn't come out of the car. What happened? And I'm smiling, and he is smiling inside. And I'm trying to wonder why is he not coming out? And then for quite some time, I'm still waiting. Okay. Yeah. I'm still waiting for Guru Maharaj to come out. He's smiling. And I said, that's not wrong. He has to come out. And all these senior devotees, I'm hearing the game. No one is telling me, please.
Oh my God.
And then all of a sudden, Guru Maharaj just opens the door and he comes out and the garden. And Guru Maharaj walks straight in, and all of us follow him. And then he walks in straight into the prayer room, and he goes there for a while, and he comes into the lounge, and he walks back, and he comes back. I'm trying to wonder what's happening with Guru Maharaj, and all the devotees and disciples and friends and everyone are full up in that lounge. And then I told him, Guru Maharaj, you want to say something? He says, yes, but let everyone come in first. So we got everyone in, and the topic was, how do you approach a guru when he comes to your house? He's speaking to me. He says, Gopal Raj, do you know how to welcome a guru when he comes to your house? I said, no, Guru. Well, I'll tell you how Prabhupada used to do this. How the disciples used to welcome Prabhupada. As soon as Prabhupada would come, everyone wants to open the door. Welcome him. put in the what you call garland on, take him in, flowers going in the front, giving him a nice seat, giving him something to drink, giving him a sweet, and all these paraphernalias. I'm not saying this because I want this. I'm saying what Prabhupada wanted. And I learned so much from this. And he says, but what happened? Then he told me, please come and take prasadam with him. And then I went into the dining room and I took prasadam with him. And while taking prasadam, he told me, I said to him, Guru Maharaj, I'm not a disciple as yet, but I said, Maharaj, I wouldn't, please forgive me for the offenses that I caused because I didn't know. He says, but why didn't your God brothers and all these other devotees teach you how to do this? You have not seen this one. I said, and then he said, but I just said whatever I have to say, so others also. But I took it like that. So I thank you very much for teaching me in the beginning as to how to approach it. That's one. There's so many others. And once we went out to, and then Guru Maharaj always liked to walk.
Miss London, you back?
We took him this time to the Orabi Gorge, that's in the mountains. And took him all the way up. And then Gopalraj, where do you think we should sit? And beautiful mountainous area, huge waterfalls, go down. There's a bungee jumping also in the area. And Guru Maharaj said, then he said, let me just chant. So we were chanting for quite some time. The scenery was beautiful. And when we had finished,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Like we are hearing a lot of noise. Maybe like from the, I don't know. Can you like maybe can the phone be a little bit closer to Prabhuji?
Yeah, you come to us.
oh no. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, okay. Say.
That's right. So just
Yeah.
before we get to do the chanting there at the Orabi Gorge, we had to enter the entrance. And there was a whole lot of devotees in cars that came in. And it so happened that you have to pay a fee to get in. And I was thinking, now who pays the fee? Because do I have to pay for all of them? And do I have to pay for all of them? And I went to Guru Maharaj and I said to Guru Maharaj, Maharaj, do we take all of them? He says, yes. And I said, Maharaj, the payment, he says, you pay for it. Then I went in there and I went and paid for all the devotees and we went through. And yeah, we had a very nice time there.
We became bankrupt.
And then we had finished it. And it so happened that we went back home. And this time now when we went home, it was getting late in the evening. Prasadam is being served. The ladies had prepared prasadam. After we had prasadam, there's another place we have to go. Guru Maharaj has to go to another house, to Harideva's house. And they're waiting for us. Meanwhile, we are taking prasadam here and they are waiting for us. We are supposed to be due there. And we told them, no, we're taking prasadam here. And they were telling us, but we have prepared prasadam for Guru Maharaj and all of you all. Don't worry, Guru Maharaj says we are coming. And we went there so late. And we went there and then Guru Maharaj gave a class. And I was driving Guru Maharaj. And then, and while driving, I'm also chanting with Guru Maharaj. And then we went up to Haridev Prabhu's house. And then Guru Maharaj asked everyone, did everyone chant? Everyone kept quiet. He says, Gopal Raj, how many rounds did you chant? I said, well, Guru Maharaj, I think I chanted about 23 rounds because I was going with Guru Maharaj also in the car. It was very good. And I'm still new. And thereafter class, and then Guru Maharaj, we had prasadam, and very, very late, I think it was about after midnight, Guru Maharaj is going back to the temple, and we had to go back. So that was a very nice experience with Guru Maharaj with the Holy God, with his name. Another time, when Guru Maharaj came, he stayed over, and the next day he said, Gopal Raj, I want to go to what you call for a walk. So this time we are going to the beach, and we're walking along the beach side. And this time also many devotees, and Guru Maharaj could walk so fast you can't keep pace with him. And at certain times he was walking barefoot, and I said, Guru Maharaj, you're going on rocks, you should change your, you should get onto your shoes. Then we got his what you call tackings, put it on for him, and then he started walking. And then we started walking all the way. Some of them couldn't walk anymore, they were so tight. Riyad Maharaj sat behind, right in the back. He sat, he couldn't come. And then we went all the way to what you call, it was Margate, Ramsgate, St. Michael's, all those beaches we went. And then coming time, all those devotees were following Guru Maharaj. And this time, I am very close to Guru Maharaj because I am still a junior. I don't know how to deal with Guru. And I'm very close to him, walking with him, chanting. And then all those other devotees, the senior devotees, are right in the back. And now I'm chanting and I'm looking back and I said, wow, why are they so far away? And I'm so close to Guru Maharaj, and I'm so fortunate. And why are they so far away? And I'm chanting loudly with Guru Maharaj. All of a sudden, Guru Maharaj told me, could you keep 3 meters away from me? Could you keep 3 meters away? And he looked me directly in my eyes. And that hit me in my heart. I had so much of a natas here. I stepped back 3 meters, and he was chanting alone, and I was following him. And those devotees in the back were laughing and clapping. They were having a good time, and I said, wow, they're really having a good time out of me. What do I do now? I step back, and I step back, and I joined them. What happened? Guru Maharaj said, I stepped back 3 meters away. And now Guru Maharaj is alone walking, and we came to our stop. And I was amongst these other devotees, hiding away. And then, all of a sudden, Guru Maharaj shouts from the far end, Gopal Raj, Gopal. I said, yes. And then I ran to him and said, so Gopal, where should we sit here on the beach? Guru Maharaj, I think it's a nice place. He says, don't you think there's too many people here? What about them? So we moved out and we sat in a quiet place and we started chanting. So that was another episode I learned from Guru Maharaj. Don't get too acquainted with your Guru. Always keep your distance and respect them. And this is a new one. I was still a new one there. And still, it looks like I'm still in the fight stage. I have a lot more to learn. And yeah, that's another episode. There are many episodes. One time we went to what you call, we told Guru Maharaj, I think that was our first visit to India, and Guru Maharaj arranged his accommodation at Acha Vigraha's place where Guru Maharaj used to stay. He arranged accommodation, and yeah, it was very nice. First, we went to Mumbai. We met him up there, and now our god sister Nama, she arranged transport for us to pick us up from the airport. And guess what she sent for us? a bus. For 2 people, she sent a bus. A bus came and we tried to wonder, what is this bus for? A lot of them are really, is this a passenger bus? No, Mama sent this bus to pick up Gopal Raj and put our bags there, and then we went to the temple and we stayed over the night, and then we had prasad, and then Guru Maharaj we were serving Guru Maharaj chapatis and everything, and he wished us well. And then from there, Guru Maharaj said, it's going to Mayapur. We accompanied him to Mayapur also. It's a very nice experience. And then while going on our parikrama in Mayapur, Guru Maharaj asked me, so Gopal Raj, are you enjoying it? I said, yes, very nice, Guru Maharaj. And at one time, while they were in with all the gurus, and Guru Maharaj also in the dance group, praising the Lord, and he told me, Gopal Raj, keep my glasses with you. And I put it on my top pocket. And so happened with this kirtan going on, it was so ecstatic that I started jumping also with Guru Maharaj and everyone. I was taking photos. It was so ecstatic that that I couldn't handle it but jump with them. And so happened that the Guru Maharaj's glasses fell off.
Oh, Krishna.
And Guru Maharaj's glasses fell off. And I picked it up and I looked at this. I saw the glasses were not cracked. And I put it into my pocket again. And I stayed still while the kirtan was going on. So then when everything was over, I gave the glasses to Guru Maharaj. And the next day, Guru Maharaj said, Gopal Raj, what happened to the glasses? I said, I gave it to you. He said, yes, you gave it to me. But something in there, those holes, the nose, goes around the nose, is missing. And then I said, oh, I don't know, Guru Maharaj. He said, it's okay. I said, I can get you one. He says, no, it's okay. It's okay. So that's Guru. He knew that something had happened and it had dropped. And forgive me, Guru Maharaj, for that also. Oh yeah, it was very, very nice. Yeah. And there's quite a few, can't remember them all. Another incident, I think we went again to Mayapur and we met up with Guru Maharaj, and so happened that it was one of our godbrothers, he's late now, Kunji Bihari. Yes, I think I did tell Guru Maharaj about that. But anyway, for the benefit of the ones that are here, it so happened Kunji Bihari came and met us in the room there, and welcomed us and made us very comfortable. And so happened the next day, Guru Maharaj, Kunji Bihari told me that tomorrow Guru Maharaj is having a get together in the morning with all the disciples and friends, wherever. So I went up in the morning and we met up with Guru Maharaj. And he first thing asked me, so Gopal, you have come, what have you done today? And I said to Guru Maharaj, well, we went to across the river Ganga, we went to Navadvip, and then we also went to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's ashram. He says, oh, very good. What else did you do? And I said, I kept quiet. He says, I know what you did. He says, you have taken your beard out. He says, well, that's progress. You're coming close to Krishna. And I said, okay, thank you very much, Guru Maharaj. Yeah, and it was very, very sweet. And I've been visiting also Guru Maharaj in the US, in Dallas, and then one time we went to Guru Maharaj's ashram, and then he took us to Lake Ilan. No, Lake Ilan. Yeah, and then we had a nice time there with all the devotees. We went walking up the mountains, um, and we came back, and yeah, it was very, very nice. It was certainly very nice. There are more, but I can't get it back straight away. Yeah. Thank you very, very much. Hare Krishna.
Can I just say something? Gopal Rajguru, you remember Mrs. Singer? Yes. So once I think Guru Maharaj said that you said you want to bring something, so she had asked for some musical instrument. Yes. So Guru Maharaj asked me to Cassie to pick you up from the airport and bring you. You remember that story? Yes. How they told you the money in the bin and tell them the story.
Okay.
That's what I'm first.
So as we get older, we lose memory, but Nama doesn't lose. Okay. So this incident, as we're coming to see Guru Maharaj and visit what you call holy places, our first trip. So we asked Guru Maharaj, what is it that we can bring and come? And then he said, well, there's an old, what you call Mataji, that plays on the harmonium. And it's quite difficult for her to play on that. Could you bring one of the, could you get a Casio for her, like a piano thing? And he said, no problem, we can get her. So we brought this, and we landed at the airport. And it so happened that we were coming out. And so at the customs, they noticed us carrying a huge luggage with the Casio and so many other paraphernalia. And he called me aside and he said, what is it that you have here? And we explained to him that we have a Casio, we have this, we have cameras and everything. So he said, okay, to take this out, you have to pay a fee. How much is the fee? He says, well, it's $300. Is this the first time you're coming? Yes. Or you have to pay $300. And we looked at each other, and we said, wow, so much for this. And we had no option because we have to take this Casio through. And then it so happened that we were taking out this money, and he said to us, we were giving it to him. He says, no, don't give it to us. Don't give it to me. Put it in this kind of like a hundi, like a basket kind of thing. He said, throw it in there. So we're trying to wonder as to why he's doing this. And anyway, we took out $300, we put it in there, and we were still doubting as to, is this guy kind of a crook guy? What do we do? As we were walking, I was thinking, let's go report this matter. And as we're going forward, we noticed there was an office. And we were about to go in there. Suddenly we heard a voice, this guy in the back, that asked us for the 300. He said, where are you going? We said, well, we're going out. He said, but why are you taking this direction to go to the office? So he pulled us back. He says, this is the way you have to go out. And we just left it like that. Maybe that I owed in my past life to somebody there, I don't know.
One time Guru Maharaj came home and I was working at that time. And it was my turn to go to work. There was no way I could have the day off. It was a public holiday and the manager was gone out, so I had to go to work. And while I was at work, I get a call to say Guru Maharaj coming to visit me at work. He was at home with all the devotees, and they took their breakfast and he said to Gopal Raj he wants to go for a walk. So Gopal Raj asked him, where do you would like to go to, Guru Maharaj? He says, I want to take a walk to where Tulsi works. Then Gopal Raj said, it's too far, Guru Maharaj, you can't walk. I can take you there. So he brought, then they called me at work and said, Maharaj's on his way to. Anyway, it was a holiday, the store was quiet, and so they brought, I was in the office, so I came out because they said he's already on his way. And just as I came out of the office, Guru Maharaj entered with Gopal Raj Prabhu and some of the devotees. And then he says, oh, very nice place you work, and like that. And then it so happened while he was there, there was some men that were intoxicated that was in the store as well. And then they saw, and then Prabhu said, no, I think Maharaj, we can go now. Maharaj said, no, we cannot leave now because there's these men that's intoxicated and they're in the store. We should wait for them to leave first. So they had left the store and then Guru Maharaj had left. He wanted to come and see where I am. Yeah, it was so much.
This people. Your
Say your
experience.
experience at my house.
Where your experience.
Actually, yeah, when we heard Gopal Raj and Tulsi were coming, we were so excited because I was just remembering all our wonderful times there and how hospitable they had always been to all the devotees. And Guru Maharaj is such a loving relationship, as you heard yourself, with Tulsi Priya and her husband. So, yeah, I just remember that, they were, I mean, it's like Guru Maharaj would just say, suddenly he's coming. And you wouldn't know, but they had so many friends, like Tulsi would just phone this one, that one, somebody's making the garland, somebody's making this bread. Or they all just come to our house and they just cook. And the cooking was just going on and on and on. And it was like amazing. The prasadam, I can't even tell you right now how amazing it was. I was just telling the devotees that once Bhakti Brina Govind Maharaj also came, and Tulsi said, you can make the salad, Nama, you can make the salad dressing. I said, okay. So I asked her if she had the ingredients, which were like avocado paste, sunflower seeds, different things. And she had it also. Then I made the salad dressing, and then we made the salad. And when the devotees sat on to have prasadam, then they served the salad, and then they were going to put the salad dressing on top. So Bhakti Govind Maharaj, he had his salad dressing in a bowl. So he just was tasting a little of how it was. And he really liked it. So he left the salad one side, and he was only eating the salad dressing. And everybody is saying, Maharaj, that's a dressing, it's not like that's for the salad. But he was just eating it. And when he finished that, he said, okay, I'll have more. So it was so fun, I tell you. And Gopal Raj and I had this pastime. Gopal Raj also used to like a lot of chilies and, vinegar chilies. Chili pickle. And we knew where you should keep it. So we really, I tell you, used to enjoy the prasadam. And also Guru Maharaj's association. Guru Maharaj would sit with everybody. All the time he would sit. And I remember that one time he came for a few days. And it was like a real celebration. We had like a morning program, Mangalarti, Tulsi Arti. And because the name was Tulsi, and Guru Maharaj and brought Tulsi, it was so special. Tulsi Arti, that time Guru Maharaj would sing also, And then you would have a Guru Puja, and then Guru Maharaj would do class. and then we would have prashad, and then usually we go to, everybody goes to the beach, and all the other Matatis stay behind and cook. And it wasn't like they were only Guru Maharaj disciples cooking. There was one disciple of Bhakti, Upati Sarati Das Goswami Maharaj. She left her body now. Her name is Rupamanjari. And she's very like timid, So once she cooked something, I think Tulsi Priya must have told her, you cook on subject. So she had cooked Loki subject, I think, for Guru Maharaj. So when Guru Maharaj had his prashad, then he said, who made this Loki sabji? So then very shyly she put her hand up and he said, oh, it was very, very tasty, he says. And she was like so happy. She says, that made my day, she said, because I was so frightened of the Guru Maharaj. She was thinking, what's he going to say? Who made this? It's not nice, there's no salt, But she's such a good cook and she's so good that although she was like in her 70s, just before she left her body, she wrote a cookbook, a very small cookbook, but it has very comprehensive recipes and baking recipes. Very, very good. And she also pleased her Guru Maharaj by her baking. So Guru Maharaj had a relationship with, even I was telling the devotees about Rati Manjari. She was like just coming up devotee. And Guru Maharaj was guiding her, and he told her that I think you would make a good teacher. And so she studied, she did Bhakti Shastri, and then she got married, and then she went to London, and she was teaching Bhakti Shastri there, and she became a very good teacher, and she, I think, did it for many years until she got children, and then she went to stop. I don't know what's happening with her now. So yeah, Guru Maharaj helped her also, and like so many of us devotees. And now they're going to tell you the pastimes that they had at their house with Radhana Dasi. Mother Radhana. Oh, they used to have some amazing pastimes there. Yeah. What? Yes.
Hare Krishna. I'm just trying to remember, there was another incident where when we were in Mayapur, and at the time of Kunji Bihari, late Kunji Bihari, one morning he came to our ashram. And one morning he came to our ashram, and he came crying. And what happened, Kunji Bihari? You cried. What happened? He started weeping, and we said, "Don't worry, you'll be fine." He says, "No, what happened? This is what happened. I was serving Guru Maharaj, and I was cleaning the place, and I sat outside Guru Maharaj waiting for him to call me to do some service. And Guru Maharaj came out, and he says, why are you sitting? He says, look at this place. There's so much of dirt here. Why don't you take a broom and sweep? So Kunji Bihari took the broom and he started sweeping. Sweeping. It's a big room, the hallway before you get into the Guru Maharaj's ashram. And then he came and sat again. And after a while, Guru Maharaj came out again. We saw him sit. And he says, Kunji Bihari, have you cleaned? Yes, Guru Maharaj, I've cleaned this whole place. He says, no, come here. Look here. There's dirt there. There's dirt here. There's dirt there. There's dirt there. Did you clean all that? But Kunji Bihari couldn't see the dirt. So Kunji Bihari went back and he started cleaning the whole room, cleaning. There was dirt that came out, but in a minute way, which he couldn't see, in a very small way. And so I think the purpose on this is the cleaning of the Gundicha temple. We have to do service for Guru. And by regularly doing this service, as these devotees are serving us in this ashram, we are cleansing our hearts and getting ready, doing the service of Guru. And I learned this lesson because when I went to America also, we went there and Guru Maharaj asked for us, we finished off late, and Guru Maharaj arranged a ashram where we can sleep at Prasaraj's place in Dallas. And he asked for me, he phoned and he said, can you come and meet me? It was late in the night. And they said to Guru Maharaj, Gopal Raj is fast asleep. So anyway, they could have got me out. But anyway, the next morning we went in and met up with Guru Maharaj. And before the ladies, Tulsi Priya and Vishnu Priya were all busy preparing breakfast for Guru Maharaj. And I was sitting out in the passage near Prabhupada's, what you call ashram. And I was thinking that Kunji Bihari was sitting there and doing not much. And Guru Maharaj came out and said, why don't you clean this place? And I thought of that, and that taught me a lesson. I should also take a broom and sweep this place. So I went in the kitchen's area where the broom is kept, and I started sweeping, and sweeping, and all of a sudden, Guru Maharaj's door opened. And he looked and he says, very good. And I said, wow, thanks, Kunji Bihari. You taught me a lesson. Thank you very much. And I said, well, this is the way we should do things for Guru. Not only our Guru, every other Guru, we should do this for. Every time, do service to our God sisters, God brothers, everyone. Do service like this and you'll see Krishna will cleanse. And somehow or the other, we're preparing our way back home to God. Hare Krishna. In conclusion, you say something. Say something.
You want to say something?
It's over.
You have some
So
Hare Krishna. I am Prithimay Krishnadas, just initiated in Nityanand Tradition, 3rd of February in Ujjain. And once upon a time, Guru Maharaj was there, is there in Vrindavan, and I was driving him to Govardhan. I opened the glass of Guru Maharaj's side, and a monkey came just on the mirror, and I just closed his window. Guru Maharaj smiled just. After that, we are coming back to Vrindavan from Govardhan. Door was open, glass door was open, and I closed the door of Guru Maharaj, glass door, and Guru Maharaj opened again. I think that maybe Guru Maharaj put hand by fault. So I closed the glass door again, and Guru Maharaj said to me, "Don't, sorry, start, stop." I'm thinking of that word Guru Maharaj said. Stop controlling my glasses. I said, okay, Guru Maharaj.
Say another one.
Yes. Guru Maharaj has to move Pune from here. From Vrindavan, we go to a home. Guru Maharaj initiated one old lady. Yes, yes, in Delhi. After after that, we take lunch there, and I was looking at watch. We are getting late for airport because time is very near to departure. So I couldn't say anything because Swarup Damodar Prabhu was there and Guru Maharaj is there. But as soon as everybody sit in the car, I drive the car very fast, and we were at airport 30, I think 40 minutes before the departure, and at the airport there was 4 or 5 Matajis. Guru Maharaj gives something to them. After that, they entered in airport, and they denied to enter in flight. Guru Maharaj. Swarup Damodar Prabhu called me. Please wait outside. I said I can't wait here because airport guys not they do not allow to stop the car. So I was moving the car, taking rounds of airport, and they didn't get that flight. They booked another flight. Yes, they booked another flight, and after nearly after 1 hour, Swarup Damodar Prabhu called me. You can now leave. We have another flight, and yes, we reach at airport. That time Guru Maharaj put a hand here and said, "Nice driving."
You're driving so fast.
And you missed the flight. And you missed the flight.
Yes.
No, they were there for 40 minutes before, but they just didn't allow them.
Oh, okay.
I think they have to enter at 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
That's when we were all together.
Okay, Gopal Raj Prabhu will speak now.
Final one. I hope it's not boring.
No, it's not. It's so nice.
So this incident was once again we were going this time when Guru Maharaj came. We told him Guru Maharaj would like to do a food for life. He said, "Oh, that's good." So at home we got the andas and the pots and everything, and we prepared. I think it was 3 pots that could feed almost 1,000 school children. And so I arranged with the principal of one of the schools at the place where I build and African schools. And so she agreed, and she said, "Okay, you can come on a certain day." So fortunate that Guru Maharaj was there, and we went. We loaded the pots and whatever. We took all the paraphernalia, and we went to the school in Kamalaka. So when we went there, all the children came out of the classrooms. The principal was there, the school teachers, everyone was there. And then so we had Govindacharan, I think he was there also. And Guru Maharaj was giving a short class, a talk to all these children, and also chanting. And Govindacharan was translating. After that, we started serving the prasad, and Guru Maharaj also started serving. They were in queues, so Guru Maharaj started serving also. And when it was about to finish the prasad, we served all the teachers and the principal. It was a lady principal. And it so happened the principal came to me and said, its time is up now because the children have to go back into class. I said, okay. So I went to Guru Maharaj, I said, Guru Maharaj, the principal says that we have to leave now because time is up. So I said, okay. So Guru Maharaj started chanting, going around the school.
Wow.
And now Guru Maharaj was singing like the Pied Piper of Hamelin, going around, and all the children were following him. And I was also following him. Now the principal, the teachers were all looking, what's happening here? What's really happening here? They're going around the school chanting this holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. And the kids were picking their hands up and really enjoying this treat here, chanting the holy name. And then the principal got me in the corner there, the teachers. So I told you, please stop your guru, your pastor, that he should stop now because the kids have to go into class. I went to Guru Maharaj is not listening. Hare Krishna. And those kids are still going around and around and around. No one is stopping. What to do? Slowly, I see the teachers also started following. Some of the teachers then start clapping because the holy name penetrated. Guru Maharaj, when he starts chanting, it's so purifying that it went into their ears and purified them, and they started coming also. And the principal called me this time, and she says, you know what? I'm closing school today. School closed. School closed. So we went on and on and on and on. So this is the power of the holy name, that we can even close the school. And everyone also hears. And I think a week after that, I met the principal. She says, you know what? It was very, very nice. When are you coming again? I said, don't worry, we will be coming sometimes. But we did one again after that, but Guru Maharaj was not there. Pata Maharaj also was there, many, many others. So we really enjoyed this treat with Guru Maharaj at the school. Hare Krishna.
So when Guru Maharaj came back after 8 years to India, then the devotees arranged for a Food for Life program with, of course, the Indian children. So I also went. And so after we came back, then we were in Guru Maharaj's office, and he said, so Nama, what do you think? I was, Food for Life program, the Harinam. So then I said, it's different here, Guru Maharaj. It's not like in South Africa. He said, yeah, I also feel like that. Because the children, Guru Maharaj is saying, Hare Krishna, in Africa, they don't know the mantra. So he would say word by word. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But here they were just standing like this. They were all just looking at each other. They're not even chanting the mantra. So I was like, I don't know how to even get them moving. If you go next to them, hold their hand, like, they're just standing. So it wasn't fun at all. But these others, these Africans, because they have music in their blood, as soon as you start,
they will jump and they dance so gracefully.
And
they just need to watch you once, and they continue
dancing.
And Guru Maharaj said that because they don't cause offenses, they don't know the difference between Krishna and Durga and Rama and all that. They just, know that Krishna, we saying Krishna is God, so they accept. Whereas these children, they sing Krishna, but we worship Amba and we worship Shiva and we worship. So I think that was also holding them back, And they were not like spontaneous. These kids, they, like you said, were jumping and dancing, and they don't know the whole mantra even, but they say Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, whatever they can say, they say. And in the beginning, they didn't want to say, and they didn't want to eat our prasad. But they became so used to and loved the chanting that when we next time went from far, they'll say, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, and they're showing their pots. Where's your khichdi? Where's your biryani? Yes. First, they were not eating. So Guru Maharaj is so clever. He told all of us, each of you take a plate and start having prasad. So we all took a plate of prasad, and we were very happy with the whole day we were cooking, and we were so like tired. So we started having the biryani, and we saw how we were eating with relish, that we didn't have poison or something, because they also very like superstitious, Then they also then they started bringing their pots and plastic bags and whatever bowls, to take them home. Yeah, so let me say just one thing. Let me just say one thing. Say something.
Yeah, say
What happened? Yes, say. Hare Krishna.
introduce.
So this is Lalita Kund. She is a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami. Also very, very senior devotee from South Africa and a very good cook. And her son, when he was 18, he joined Parthasarati Das Goswami Swami Maharaj and became his servant, and is still his servant until now. He's 30 years his servant. So she's a great mother of a great devotee.
No, I'm a mother of a great devotee, not a great mother. Hare Krishna. My name is Lalita Kund Devi Dasi. I'm formerly from South Africa, but we have settled here in Vrindavan for like 11, 12 years. So I have a pastime. It's a bittersweet pastime. In 1989, I, with my daughter, who was like 12, 13 years old, we came to Juhu. My daughter was learning Kathak. So there we met Nama, and Nama introduced us to Giriraj Swami, and Maharaj gave us very nice service. He allowed us to make garlands every day. So while we were there for we were supposed to stay for a year, but after 6 months, we decided to go back because my daughter had to write her exams. So after 6 months, in that interim, wherever Maharaj went, he would say, Nama, please call the mother and daughter. So we always went for all the programs. And now we had joined in 1984. At that time, we didn't choose a guru. So this was the guru, because I was serving and he was so close, and that's the only guru I knew like so intimately, because every day I was seeing him. And I, in my heart, know that Giriraj Swami is going to be my Guru Maharaj. So I went back home. Well, the day I was leaving, Maharaj asked me, so you're going today? And I said, yes. So he said, thank you so much for doing so nice service, and please come back. And said, did you go to Vrindavan? I said, no, we didn't go to Vrindavan. He said, okay, next time you come, definitely you will go to Vrindavan. And seriously, the next time I had visited, the first place I went to was Vrindavan. So I went back home, and my husband, Mukunda, he liked His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, who is also my Guru Maharaj. So my husband chose him as Guru, and that time there was the zonal Acharya system, and there were some fall downs. So my husband, Mukunda, convinced me that it's best to take from one Guru. And we are obedient wives. We always listen. My heart was like very heavy, and I went to my Guru Maharaj then, who I'm initiated from now. I told him, that time he was Raghuveer Prabhu. Yeah. And I said, Maharaj, I'm so true-minded. So he said, what happened? I said, no, I'm so attached to Giriraj Swami. And so he says, so what is the problem? I said, no, Mukunda wants us to have one guru because it's easier to serve and all of that. So he told me, you take your time, you don't rush. So being at home, Mukunda kept saying, it's nice if we just take from one guru. It's okay if you take, you could, Giriraj Swami will always be your God uncle, but just take from one guru, we'll do better. So I listened, just being the obedient wife, I listened. So it so happened, it was, we are his first Brahmin disciples, my Guru Maharajas, Bhakti Chaitanya Swamis, and that we got initiated in 91. So that time, he took his initiation, and on the day of the initiation, my Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, asked me, how do you feel? And I said, I feel fine. And he says, have you made up your mind? And I said, no, I'm still making up my mind. And he said, you just take your time. So I did. And then when my Mukunda got very much involved in temple management and all of that, so he was very busy. And we had 3 little kids. So it became somewhat difficult to not take from my Guru Maharaj, because I thought that it might make some trouble or something like that. So I decided to take from Bhakti Chaitanya Swami. So it so happened that the week, well, I didn't know. Those days, they don't tell you 1 week in advance that you're going to have, you're going to be initiated tomorrow. They tell you like the night before. So I went to my Guru Maharaj and I said, Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, that I will take initiation from you. He says, this is fine. But you can always go to Giriraj Swami. You can always take shelter from him. So I said, okay. So it so happened now, I just got the message that I'm going to be initiated, and we heard Giriraj Swami is coming. So my heart is breaking. But I sat for initiation. My Guru Maharaj had just me, because that time, it was so less, he just became Guru. So it was just Mukunda. He took his Brahman and I took my first. So if you notice, our name is Mukunda and Lalita Kunda. So he matched it. So Giriraj Swami is sitting and my Guru Maharaj is sitting. So I bow down and I bow down. And my Guru Maharaj is looking at me and I'm looking at him. And then I'm looking at Giriraj Swami. It was very, very hard. So because I know that I'm doing the right thing, but at the same time, my attachment for Giriraj Swami was so great that I was feeling that separation. And he was just smiling at me. He was smiling. And, he said like this. So I'm looking at my Guru Maharaj, and then my Guru Maharaj asked me the 4 regulative principles, and he told me my name. And then I bowed down to my Guru Maharaj. I bowed down to Giriraj Swami. I looked at him in the face, and then he just smiled. He smiled, and I went back to my place. It was very, what can I say, bittersweet. But he called me earlier after that, and he told me that, Lalita Kunt, you can, whenever you write to me, I will always answer your letters, and you can see me wherever I am. So that was a consolation. I used to write to him very often. Even when I fell ill, I came down with cancer like 10, 11 years ago. And I had written to him and he wrote me such a beautiful letter. And I used to always read it during my healing period. And that gave me so much of strength. And then my Guru Maharaj, us being his first disciples, naturally we became very attached, because there was not much disciples. He was not taking too many disciples. So we got very attached to my Guru Maharaj because we're serving him all the time. So he used to come home and we used to serve him, and we were like only 3 or 4 disciples at that time. Our attachment grew. I'm very, very fond of my Guru Maharaj, but I have to say that I'm just as fond of Giriraj Swami. So whenever I see him anywhere, the only thing I do is sit and cry. But I think he'll always remain my most loved God uncle. Hare Krishna. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Lalit. So touching, so touching. Radha Panduli?
No, ask the younger ones to say
Yeah,
something.
come, say something.
Yeah.
Say something. Say.
Right.
Come on, say you have so much of experience. Could you ask her? I can't. Don't shy like that. They're all so shy. No, but Prabhuji shared it. That's so nice. She wants to serve.
You can sit in Hindi too.
Balaji Priya, please prepare. You will have to. No, you should.
Hi Krishna.
You have.
So this is the same time when
Who was giving you
Preeti
the
Mai
rides?
Krishna was driving Guru Maharaj for the airport and he had to leave to Pune. So we were also following, escorting his car. Yeah, Chitralekha Devi Dasi. So he dropped him at the airport and we knew he's going to miss his flight. But he was so compassionate that he stopped and he's meeting all the devotees. He's no Prabhu Swarup Damodar Prabhu kept saying, come, come. And he's like, he kept doing this for us. And he kept saying, we'll miss the flight. But he was still like, so I went running and I just bowed down and said, Chitralekha, come, come. I said, Guru Maharaj, how do I come? He said, come, come. I said, I really want to come. He said, okay, we will meet again. And I didn't know how will that happen because I was going back to Amritsar. But it actually happened and I made it to GEV and then he came back again and I could meet him. So,
And serve also.
yeah, and serve also. So I think whatever Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittate Kariya Aikya, whatever he says, it's going to manifest, happen. We just need to have faith. I was thinking, he said, come. How will I come? I just can't go. I mean, I can't go that side. But he drove me, he pulled me, and we met again in Bombay at GV.
Please, Manu, come on. You can't do that. You have exposure to Guru Maharaj, right?
No.
Come on. I should tell you what to say. Share your experience. You have some
Say what
experience,
Guru
right?
Maharaj said to you to come to Vrindavan.
Yeah.
Come.
What brings you to Vrindavan?
The life change. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come.
So
Come.
that's it.
Hare Krishna, Balaji Priya will share some experience of us.
Speak loud.
Should I say something more about you?
No.
Balaji Priya is...
no.
You say.
Okay. They're ऊपर उठ बैठो ना, तो you can just
I-
drop it.
You come here. You come here.
Sit here. Why? Glorifying is purifying, right? Glorifying means to purify yourself. Glorifying is purifying, right? That's a good rhyming.
Yes.
Everybody is watching you. Should I give you some more introduction?
Don't give introduction. You can.
I will say after you. You say.
Hare Krishna, my name is Balaji Priya Devi Dasi. I got introduced to Giriraj Maharaj through Radhapada Duli, Mataji. Way back in 2004, 3, I met Radhapada Duli and then
We're talking about Giriraj Swami here.
I'm getting there. And then she's a very powerful preacher, Radhapada Duli. So
Sure.
in yeah. So then the association with Radhapada Duli grew a lot and then I was having some issues and then she told me that, why don't you write to Giriraj Maharaj? And I never met Giriraj Maharaj. And I think I wrote to him for at least 2 years before I met him. The only introduction I had to him was that Radhapada Duli asked me to write. So, and then I continued writing to him. It's very long now, 20 years writing to him, 18 years writing to him. In 2015, I remember I went to Radhapada Duli. I was working in Dubai and I went to Radhapada Duli and I said that I cannot do this job anymore. And then she was like, okay, then we have to go to Giriraj Maharaj. I cannot take this decision for your life. So then we flew and we went to Carpentaria. And I had already written to Maharaj that, this is the situation. And I had asked him, should I write before I reach? And so then he said, yes, you write everything before you reach. And so we went in 2017, I think it was April or May. May.
So Nashinta
Yes. And we landed in Los Angeles and Kunti came to pick us up. We reached about 7 p.m. in the evening to Carpentaria, to the ashram. And we just landed and Maharaj, came 5 minutes later. And this was the best part. We landed and he entered and he was like, okay, let's discuss now. And this is in front of big Krishna who was in the hall. And we were all sitting there, 3 of us were sitting there. And then I had written to him everything. And then he just said, after hearing me out, he was like, so you must go to Vrindavan, because the question was about leaving everything and moving to Vrindavan. And then he said, you must go to Vrindavan. And then I said, what about Guru Maharaj? And then he said, I will speak to Radhanath. And then I said, I would be serving under Prashanta Mataji. So he said, do you want me to speak to Prashanta? I said, I can convey, it's okay. And then he said, do you want me to speak to your counselor? If anybody stops you, just, leave, leave them and just go. And then this was at about 9:15 in the night we finished. And then, we were getting ready to go to bed, got introduced to the rooms and all. And then I looked at Radhapatni and I said, everything. Yeah, it was a 15-day stay for me. Radhapatni was staying longer. And in the night I looked at her and I said, we finished everything now. I've got nothing to do for the next 15 days. We finished. So, but it was a wonderful trip. Huh? Finished. Oh, the car. Oh, the cleaning. Yes. So next day, I will take 4 hours more to speak.
Go on.
So next day, I got up, breakfast. Wow, holiday, everything is clear. And then Kunti comes in. I was like, is there any seva to do? She's like, no. I said, what about the garden? What about this? She's like, no, the garden wala is coming and the cleaner is coming. So everything's okay. I said, okay. So I went, I relaxed. I waited to see, no gardener, no cleaner. I was waiting all day. I relaxed all day. Next day she came, I said, there is no gardener and there is no cleaner. And then somehow we started cleaning. So one time we went on this walk. Maharaj started taking us on walk in the evenings. And then I was sitting in the car. I'm a little bit of a cleaning freak. So I'm sitting in the car and I was like, oh my God, this car is so dusty, dirty, whatever. I was like, okay, so then that evening, when we came back from the walk, not that evening, next morning, I was cleaning the car. And then I was like excited, like a kid. In the evening, he's going to see the car, it's shining. And I had done the glasses, mainly I had done the glasses. And then he sat in the car and then he looked around and then he said, somebody missed a spot.
That's a nice shirt.
So then that's it. I came back and I was looking for the spot in the night. I was like, they parked the car. I think Jared parked the car.
Yeah.
And I was like, where's the spot? And that's it. So I was cleaning the car every day. Did lots of cleaning. There's something very nice.
But Guruma knew that she washed the car.
Yeah, I
No,
don't know.
he said somebody, but he said.
Yeah, because there will be Kunti in his name and that's her. So he
Yeah.
didn't take
Yeah,
her
I know.
name. So it was very.
Many instances during the trip. So
I'm not the cleaning freak. Don't do that.
so another instance is the last one.
Sure.
I've never spoken about it, so it's like very live in my head. But I might also don't want to become emotional. So there is this. There was one part where who's Radhika's mother? Kandapa. So Kandapa Manchari came. You were there, Kunti, and I think just 3 of you. You all were all, huh? No, she was not there. It's just three of you all because I was assisting her. So four of us were there. So I was sitting on this side of the counter, and they were next to the sink, three of them, and they were like loud. Oh, you know, in Punjab this happens, and I think she's from Gujarat.
Who, Kandarpa?
Oh, she's also from Punjab.
No, no, Kandarpa is Iranian.
Yeah. So they were discussing something. We are from here in our culture. This happened in my family. This, that. I don't know what they were discussing. I was thinking, no one is asking me anything. Again, I was just watching them. I was like, okay. And then came lunchtime and comes Guru Maharaj for lunch, and everyone's like busy serving. And then Guru Maharaj says, Balaji Priya. And I was sitting in the corner there. After assisting, I sit in the corner there waiting to see everything. Yeah? And then Maharaj calls, he says, Balaji Priya. And he says, so where are you from? And then he asked me so many questions. Where are you from? And so many things. So they didn't ask me, but he asked me. He didn't know about the conversation. But he completed that. So very nice.
So sweet.
Very sweet. Okay.
Thank you for sharing, Balaji Priya.
You,
No, no,
I saw.
they know me once. Why waste their time? You want to say something?
Hare Krishna. I think it stopped by itself. Just check. I think it stopped. Yeah, I think they.
तूने म्यूट भी किया था उसको ऑन नहीं किया होगा
There's nobody there.
You can ask them to switch off then on their cameras and then
Hare
you can just
Krishna. So I think we are coming to the end now. Say, Hare Krishna. Can you all switch on your cameras so you can see your moon-like faces, my dear devotees? Oh, Guru Maharaj.
You take your time. No worry.
Hare Krishna. So I see Malachi, and then I see who? Shamapriya.
Mataji, I'm here.
Oh, Priti Manjari. Okay, Hare Krishna, Priti.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for organizing this. It was so wonderful to hear you all.
And there's Sukhanti Radha also. Jai. Very nice. And who else? Is anyone else? No.
Yeah, that.
Who?
There is Sargam and Uttama Bhakti Dasi. Radha Raman Prabhu also is here.
Okay, okay.
Dasi and Guru Bhakti Dasi.
So anybody wants to say anything?
Hi Krishna Mataji, I just wanted to say thank you so much for organizing this beautiful glorification session. It was just amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Guru Bhakti, right?
Yes, Mataji, it's Guru Bhakti.
Yeah, it's Guru Bhakti. Okay. Okay. And anybody else?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Nama
Yes.
Mataji, this is Raseshwari here. I have
Uh-huh.
met you once in Vrindavan Mataji. I am Sridevi Mataji's disciple here, student. I met you at Vrindavan. If you can remember, I think it's about 3-4 years before. We had
Yes,
come
yes.
to your place. Do you remember
Oh,
Mataji?
yeah,
I am
Sora.
Sridevi Mataji.
Oh, Sri Devi. Right.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay,
So I've
that's
just
nice.
been initiated this year by Guru Maharaj. Just
Yeah.
this year I got initiated. Yeah. And my name is Raseshwari Dasi. He has initiated me with the name Raseshwari Dasi. So
Yeah.
nice to actually I couldn't listen to the entire the talks about Guru Maharaj, but I have been listening and I am so happy that I could know more about my Guru Maharaj. Mataji, thank you so much for organizing such a wonderful program. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Can't hear
Please
enough.
accept my
Jai.
please
Thank you.
accept my humble apology.
Jai. Please accept ours also. So then, if nobody has anything to say, then we can say Hari Bol 3 times for our Tulsi Priya and Gopal Raj Prabhus, and of course all the devotees. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Jai Shri
One
Ram.
Hari Bol.
Ananta Koti Vaishnavanta ki jai.
Take a photo.
You are muted.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Nice to see you, Mataji, after a very long time.
Thank you.
Devotees of the Lord. Jai Shri desires of everyone. And so, Ananta Koti. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Bol. So I'll be sending the recording to all of you. So if you missed anything, you can hear it. And thank you once again for joining us. And thank you, Gopal Raj and Tulsi, for giving us your time. Yeah. And to Radha Duli for hosting. Devotees help, like Balaji Priya helped me here with the Zoom session. Priya and Priti Manjari also.
She did the cooking.
And yes, of course, Lekha made an amazing feast.
Again?
Amazing feast, most amazing feast. Oh, I can't even wake up now. I need like some thing to lift me up now. It's so much. Jai. Haribol, Hari See you again soon. Hare Krishna.
Cut.